All right, here we go. So, week 2 of e-learning has begun, and so we've got a couple assignments for you. If you haven't checked them out yet, these are them. Like I said in the email, or whatever that was, I'm just going to continue going on this pattern here. So I'm going to be more, I guess, daily about it, though, so that, just because this is going to go on indefinitely. We weren't sure. I wasn't sure if it was going to go on after or how long after spring break. So just be aware that I'll be putting these in pretty much every day. So like today's assignment, I'll put in by tomorrow, sometime tomorrow, and so on. So that said, there's not a lot for me to add. I don't know anything yet about when or whatever we're coming back, if we're coming back, and I could just basically set aside this time for a little while to answer any questions you might have about the assignment for today. So today's assignment was solving for, well, basically all these things now, VI and R, and eventually power. It wasn't on this practice, but it will be on the others. So power is also on there. So made a video about solving for those there's 3 or 4 things. And yeah, so let me know if there's anything you want me to figure out for you or solve for you. If not, we could end this and come back and well, try something else. But hopefully it wasn't too tough. But if you want, I can work out one of these for you. And if you're there, say hi and how you doing. I'm going to be experimenting with the Zoom stuff. I'm going to try it with my second period class today, and I'll see how that goes, and probably do third period tomorrow or when I get a chance, because I do have other meetings now. They like to schedule lots of meetings with us online. So I don't know. Hope you're doing well. It's crazy times. Not much for me to talk about, honestly. Kind of went through all this on the example there in the email. What's up, Lexi? I do miss you guys. It's not the same just sitting here all by my lonesome. So hopefully we can get the Zoom thing to work out, and maybe it could be a regular thing just to kind of pop in and say hi to each other. I am good. Thank you so much for asking, Valeria. How are you? How are you doing? I, we can't go anywhere, so it's like I can't even ask if you've been doing anything because I know you guys haven't. How have you been spending your time, though? I'm wondering. And I guess I could ask that over the Zoom, because then we could talk face to face a little bit more, and you could use your voice rather than typing everything, because typing isn't quite the same. That's why I'm like, we need to do like the Zoom thing, because at least that's sort of like human interaction. And even if you don't say anything, it's nice just to kind of see faces that and hear their voices. So like, it's one thing hearing my wonderful voice, but it's not exactly the same. Plus you guys aren't really you guys are just words on a screen, unfortunately, and I can only just imagine you guys there. But I am doing well as can be expected. You're eating food because you're bored, not because you're hungry. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I know. I just ate a bunch of almonds. We cooked almonds. We roasted them, and so they are. I ate way too many just a few minutes ago. I guess I won't be eating lunch. I didn't eat lunch. I should have eaten lunch, but instead I ate almonds. And yesterday I made cinnamon rolls from scratch, and that was not a good idea either. But yeah. And obviously I've been playing Animal Crossing, so that did come out. But yeah. I didn't even consider what might happen if we ended this early today, because hopefully practice 5 wasn't too tough altogether. Is the game fun? If you like that kind of thing, yeah, it's really fun. I had never played any of the other Animal Crossings before, so I have played Stardew Valley, and very similar. I can see where there's a lot of similarities there, but it's fun in that it's relaxing and you don't have a lot, like, it's very unstressful. You just go around and gather fruit and go fishing and catch butterflies and talk to animals that don't talk like people. But yeah, I like it. It's a little bit too addicting sometimes, especially the first few days. It's starting to taper off. But if it wasn't me playing, it was my daughter. And so we got a lot done in this first week. I know a lot of other teachers who I have not caught the coelacanth, but my daughter has a couple times. Yes. And I've caught the oarfish, and I've caught the, what's the other one? Yeah. Sturgeon. But yeah. So it's an interesting game. So it's helped to keep me sane. Something. I don't know. But for physics, I mean, just to be clear, I guess, before we start talking about too much other things, it's just we're going to be wrapping up this week, or this unit with this week, as best we can. And honestly, if you can do practice 5, which one was practice 5? I think it's practice 5. Yeah. If you could do practice 5, I would say you're going to be in pretty good shape for the whatever the test is going to be. So I have the test here on Friday, and practice 6 and 7 are kind of like extras, and you should definitely be able to do them, but we're not going to test you too hard on that stuff because practice 6 really ramps up what you got to in practice 5. It's going to be a little more complicated, but it's not too bad. 7 is when it starts to really get kind of crazy. And 8, I didn't even print out 8 for you, and I just threw it in there because some of us are sadistic in that way, and we like the kind of a challenge that these things offer, and because they're kind of like puzzles to solve. So I decided to not print practice 8 because, well, I had to make a lot of decisions over that past weekend, a couple weekends ago, and I decided not to print practice 8 because I didn't want to scare anybody. But it is definitely there, and you will not be tested on tested on stuff on practice 8. But if you want to try your hand at it, I put it there, and I will put it into hack as just bonus points if you do it. So as in, I will put it in as an assignment, and I will leave it blank if you don't do it. But that's tomorrow, and I'm just kind of like giving you an overview. So but practice 5 is definitely, you want to be really good at that. Practice 6 and 7 will make sure you are very good at that. And I'll have a quiz linked on, well, I say Wednesday, but maybe as early as tomorrow. And retakes are, of course, available because this is a very weird time and very weird way to do school. And then we'll look at, we're going to, actually, the physics teachers are going to meet tomorrow, and we're going to talk about what we're going to do for the test for this unit, because clearly we're not going to give you the actual test. That would be a bad idea. So for several reasons, obviously, one of them is integrity of the test. I have a feeling at least somebody's gonna like take a picture of things and share it, but you know, I don't know who. Probably none of you guys. So anyway, right now that's the plan, and I am fully expecting, since President Trump made the announcement that he extended the national guidelines to, I don't remember, the end of April or something like that, for a while. And basically, I have a feeling we're going to find out that it's going to be the same for, like, basically, the president makes a recommendation. He made a recommendation on a national level, and then the states themselves have to decide if they're going to follow those recommendations. And probably Illinois will, because we have a very high population in Chicagoland area, and you know, we're going to be erring on the side of caution on that, as much as apparently, well, some would say we're not being cautious enough, but whatever. So I fully expect to be out for a while longer, and I will not be completely shocked if we don't go back at all this year. So we will see. I think it is April 30th. Yeah. So just be ready for anything. Just be ready for anything with this. Valeria, I think my gut tells me no, but I don't know anything. I know just as much as you do. I feel like I don't know. I don't know. If we go to April 30th, that leaves May. And we'll see. I mean, people aren't behaving themselves. People aren't doing the social distancing thing as much as they should be. And so it's not gonna, you look at the state of New York and New York City, they're in bad shape right now because people weren't doing what they needed to do. And unfortunately, I'm looking at the numbers that I'm seeing, and it looks like we're not doing that hot of a job. I don't know though. I mean, maybe we're gonna be fine. I don't know. But I don't know if Chicago school has canceled for the rest of the year, but I know Arizona just did. And I don't think Chicago did just yet, but don't quote me on that one. Honestly, most of this is my supposition. All I know is that, for a fact, is that President Trump did extend it to, I think, April 30th. And that's the fact. And the fact is that it's likely that Illinois will follow suit. So that's all I know. I don't know anything. I'm just going by what I'm seeing. So we'll take it a week or so at a time. In fact, if you guys haven't been, that's interesting. I don't know anything about that. Be slow to take much of what you hear anymore as facts, especially when it comes to stuff that's quickly moving like this. That's gonna save you some emotional responses that you might not have. That's why people went out and bought toilet paper that first week or so, because there was an emotional response based on not having all the facts. So I don't know about Lamont, so I don't know. I can't speak to that. I have not heard about it. It might be a private school in Lamont. I don't know. But we'll see. Like I said, right now on an official, we are officially scheduled to come back middle of next week, I think, but I wouldn't count on it. So that's why I started to look into the Zoom and whatnot, because it's going to be nice to see some familiar faces, I think. So we'll see. We'll see. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. And when it comes to your grades, I mean, we'll do what we can, and I think your teachers are going to be very understanding about how things go. And right now, you know how it is. The grades thing is sort of up in the air. Like, if you're worried about your grades going down, I wouldn't. If you're worried about your grades going up, that is very good possibility. This is especially in physics. I could speak for that, but probably in all your classes too. Like, if you're getting a B right now and you want an A, that's definitely very possible. Okay. If you're getting a B and you're worried about going down to a C, I don't know if I'd worry about that, especially if you keep up with everything. Yeah, that's all I'll say about that. So I should say, on top of the pile of things you might be worrying about, your grades shouldn't be at the top of the heap at all. Like, that's just do what you can. We're all sort of muddling through this. So yeah. All right. Well, that's physics, I guess. So I'll have more information about the Thursday and Friday thing as I get it. But we're going to talk tomorrow. The physics teachers are going to talk tomorrow. And then we're going to talk to our curriculum director on Wednesday to basically make sure everything we decide tomorrow is okay. So I don't know. So about Chicago and Lamont, I don't know. Just be careful what the sources you get your information from are. Oh, that reminds me. If you want to hear it directly from the source, I do plan. One of the reasons I shuffle the schedule around is I plan on watching the governor speak today. And I've been watching him because it's sort of like firsthand information about what's going on. So you'll know right away. He'll make announcements pretty much within the first 5 minutes, any major announcements. It's always very informative to watch our leaders make their announcements, and you can find that on pretty much any social media or news outlets. You'll be able to get those. But at 2:30 every day, Governor Pritzker has been on, and then President Trump has been on later than that, sort of depending. He doesn't have like a set time that I've noticed, so just kind of look out for that if you're interested in watching that. But so if you want to hear directly from the source about what the plans are, that's probably a good one, especially the governor, because the president speaks for the nation, and the governor is very focused on Illinois. And so that's going to be more of an effect on us. A direct effect is what the governor says. So if the governor says schools are canceled for the rest of the year, then you know it. If the governor says school has been extended, the shutdown's been extended till the 10th or the 30th or whatever, then that's for sure. The president says something, that's a guideline for the nation to, like the governors, to look into following. So, all right. I'm going to do the Zoom thing in second period in a few minutes, in about 15 minutes at 1:30. Third period we'll try out tomorrow. I thought about mixing classes, but I think to start with, we'll just stick with our classes because, you know, you at least have seen everybody in them. And then if like 5 people show up for each class, then maybe we'll combine them in the future. But I don't know, we'll see. Like I said, if you're thinking about not doing the Zoom thing, just pop on anyway. You don't have to enable the video if you don't want to. You don't have to say anything, but it's nice just to see that the real world is still out there and that everybody, you know, is still there. So it's not going to be anything formal. It's just going to be kind of like saying hi, asking questions, maybe talking about stuff we might have heard of or heard about or stuff we've been doing. That's the plan, honestly. We could talk about physics if we want to, but yeah. So, all right. Well, I guess unless there's any questions about practice 5, I'm going to end it. Give you a minute. And then we could hop on the Zoom in a few minutes. So I think I'm going to make it so we end about, yeah, we'll see. I said 1:30, so we'll start. Aiden, I will send a message, a remind message. It's probably going to be, I can tell you what time it's not. I got to make sure I don't have any other Zoom meetings at that time, but it might probably be still about 2 o'clock, 1:30 again tomorrow. So let's see, unless I have a meeting, 12:30. Yeah, it'll probably be about 1:30 again tomorrow. Oh, what time, Aiden? You know? That goes for anybody. Like if I say, hey, let's do a Zoom meeting, and you're like, my other teacher has a meeting at that same exact time, let me know, and I could change it. It's not really a big deal. I just want to give us a chance to sort of see each other is all. I don't want it to be like a cumbersome thing, so it's definitely optional. In fact, you know what? Maybe I'll send a, kind of making this up as I go. Maybe I'll send a Google form, like a survey, see what's a good time. All right. Well, Aiden, I'll look for your response, but otherwise I'm just going to end the stream because I just want to catch up with you guys. And I think tomorrow we'll probably end up having a little bit more questions about practice 6 and 7, and I'll work those out for you. But just like anything, let me know. You can always ask me via Remind. So if you're wondering about how to get points for all these, just go to the Google Classroom and you can just take a picture of what you've done. Okay, cool. Awesome, Aiden. Thank you. Just take a picture of what you've done and submit it. Many of you have been doing that, and I'll give you your 10 points. If you don't submit it, you lose nothing, but you also gain nothing. So hopefully you've been keeping up with this. All right, well, until I see you next time, have a good afternoon.